Hello everybody, Rebus here, welcoming you to another D&D blog type thing. One of the things I wanted to go over was, as a GM, I used to actually be a player for a long time. I quit and became more of a GM style. And one of the things that I've always found that is lacking with other GMs is the use of the environment and the use of actual terrain and weather. So one of the big things that I'm always looking to do is spice up my campaigns. I want to spice up battles. I feel like when you kind of have those battles where it's arbitrary, empty corridor, let's attack each other. Oh, you're at range, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I think that's kind of lost. That's not the way you should run your encounters. Some people want that. Some people want the slog, the punch it out, the fight it down, the no frills battle. But I do want to emphasize the idea of tactics and the idea of having actual terrain in your map. Even if it's just a simple throwing some dice onto a grid or whatever you do to kind of emphasize your game, you need to add in some terrain. Terrain, I think, is such a benefit. You get partial cover, you get kind of more that it's funny as it is to say that Gears of War style, oh, look at that, waist-high walls. And this can really give kind of an interesting take. And you might say well, it's just cover. It's just something for enemies to hide behind. It's not even that important. But the thing with these elements that you add in, like terrain, is it allows your players to roleplay. It allows your players to emphasize things that you normally wouldn't think they would do. For instance, you add maybe just a couple crates, a couple boxes to the environment, and suddenly maybe your monk or your barbarian is going I want to run up the crates, and I want to jump off a crate, and I want to swing my great axe, and I want to cleave a guy in half as I'm jumping in the air, and all that is just adding a crate. But that crate kind of has to exist there. If it doesn't exist there, or these terrains are not existing there for your players, sometimes they're not thinking that. They're not going into a fight in a room and going all right, I want to know is there this, that, this, and then them trying to keep track of that, that's where they lose it. So another interesting thing that you can add in is the idea of weather. This has kind of been something that's overlooked, and I feel a lot of the races that do have specific weaknesses, sunlight sensitivity, the kobolds, the drow, I believe, are the other one. I'm not too familiar with them. Nobody ever wants to play them in my campaigns. That's such a minor thing. You don't honestly think about it all the time. And I think weather can play a big impact. You throw in rain. You throw in suddenly, hey, there's a rainstorm, and now ranged attacks are all at a disadvantage. Well, now your ranger's going well, hey, I need to actually think up other tactics, or it allows more melee units to kind of fight. And that's something that gets lost on people. You kind of get this basic idea of oh, look, there's just a road and we're fighting on it. And it's a sunny day out. And there's nothing out here. And that's a trap. That's a trap you don't want to fall into. You definitely do want to add these in. So I recommend the next time you are running a campaign, throw some barrels in. Throw some crates in. Throw some weather in. Throw some, I don't know, rough terrain. Throw something in there, even if it's minor. Just throw stuff in there that your players can interact with during a fight and have these cool, epic, awesome moments. So this is just a little tip for the newer GMs out there that maybe are thinking of how to spice up their combat. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. But until next time, guys, this is Rebus saying, I'll catch you later.